First of all, I just want to say that it's freezing cold in my apartment, so forgive me for the informalities. So I'm going to be wearing a blanket. I need to get something off my chest. One of my biggest regrets in life happened about 6 years ago when I was 17. I was dating my first girlfriend, Kenzie. My uncle Todd was getting married, and I invited Kenzie to go along, because I guess that's what you do with girlfriends, is you just take them to wedding receptions. As there are at many wedding receptions, there was a book that you could sign and write a little message to the newlyweds in. When it came to be my turn to write my message, I had no idea what to do, because I don't like saying mediocre things, especially when it comes to writing something. I'm not going to write anything that's mediocre. I hate that. But I also struggle with being mushy. So I had this dilemma. I was sitting there trying to figure out what to do. While I was doing this, Kenzie, who is ever observant, noticed that in some of their wedding photos, there was a tree in the background that resembled the head of a chicken. She promptly pressured me into addressing this chicken head shaped tree in my message. And because she was good at manipulating and I didn't want to be, uncool, that's what I wrote. So, to this day, what I have written in pen to my uncle on his wedding day is something along the lines of, "Dear Todd and Brooke, my woman sees a chicken in your pictures. Congratulations, love, Taylor." I freaking hate myself for writing this. So, Todd, Brooke, if you're watching this video, just know that I'm sorry. Feel free to Sharpie marker that out, because it's just a bane to my existence. To a lot of people, this doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But to me, it's a freaking huge deal. And it would be a big deal to you too, if you knew anything about my Uncle Todd and the rest of his family, and the influence that they had on me when I was growing up. See, when I was a kid, we grew up in close proximity with this family for several years. For that reason, my aunts and uncles, they basically became like older siblings to me. Todd was the closest thing to an older brother that I've ever had. Many of the things that I do as an older brother, the philosophies that I have and the lessons that I've learned, I learned from my Uncle Todd. Whether these are good lessons or not, that's for you to decide, but I think they're pretty great. The first thing that I learned is that roughhousing is good. When we were little, my sister and I would harass my Uncle Todd just so that he would do this thing where he would pick us up and throw us on the couch, just like that. And he would pin us down on our stomach and wrap our arms and our legs back behind our backs. Then he would shove them up our shirts so that our shirts wrapped around our knees, and we would basically just be rolling there on our stomachs like belly button milk duds, unable to free ourselves. It was brilliant. You could just ask my sisters. They will testify that I've used tactics similar to that one. Second, I learned that pillows and blankets make everything awesome. One of the things we would do is we would take just piles of pillows and blankets and take them out to the trampoline, and we would bury ourselves in these pillows and blankets, and Todd would bounce us as high as he possibly could, which was usually about 60 feet in the air, or at least so it felt. That was the coolest thing ever, and I know you're all jealous. Another thing that he would do is so my grandma had this huge yard, and maybe that's just because I was 5, and she had a driving lawnmower, one that you could ride on. And this riding lawnmower had a trailer that you could attach to the back of it. And so if we could catch Todd before he mowed the lawn and convince him to do it, we would throw pillows and blankets in this trailer, and he would just drag us behind the lawnmower while he mowed the lawn. My memory's kind of fuzzy, so it could have even been Adam or Grandpa, for all I know. All I know is it was freaking awesome. Third, I learned this from Adam too, is that a little torment is healthy for a child. Adam and Todd had this thing nefariously remembered as the monkey mask. I'm told that the monkey mask was just a rubber gorilla mask. That's not how I remember it. See, in my mind, once they put that crap on, it was like something out of The Door Under the Stairs. It gave me nightmares for weeks. One thing that I distinctly remember happening in my childhood, and this falls under torment because I know that he knew what he was doing. when he did this. One day, Adam invited me to go take the Mustang for a car wash. Sure, yeah, no big deal. Totally. When you're 5, going for a car wash is like the coolest thing ever. It was like going to Lagoon, you know, going to the car wash. But when we got to the car wash, Adam did something that I wasn't expecting. As we're pulling in, he hands me some towels. What are we doing with this? Are we drying the car afterwards? Like, what is this? No, we're not drying the car afterwards. He says, quick, pin these up, cover the window, press it as hard as you can. I didn't realize this until this point, but the windows were not all the way rolled up. Apparently, they were broken, stuck, jammed, or something. We went through that car wash without windows. Needless to say, little old me got soaked with my little stumpy arms trying to shield myself from high-pressure power washing with nothing but some bathroom towels. Fourth lesson I learned was that teasing is also a good thing. Todd once told me that when you see airplanes passing overhead and they leave trails of cloud behind them, those aren't actually clouds, those are actually bombs. They look like they're above us, but they're actually not, so don't worry about it. But they're bombs. He also told me that if you see more than one airplane in the sky at a time, it means that there's a war happening. Todd is the reason that for years I believed that if I ever sat down to pee, I would turn into a girl. He taught me what AUTP means, already used toilet paper. He showed me what seafood looks like. Food. It's disgusting. And he demonstrated the joys of recording your voice on the family answering machine. I like to eat dog poo-poo. And all that kind of sums up the last lesson that I've learned, not just from Adam and Todd, but from the whole family as a whole. And that lesson is to emulate your weirdness. Can I show you something? I just want to show you this. Magical. You see this? This is the family that I'm talking about. Who wouldn't want to emulate this? I ask you. Who wouldn't want to emulate this? I know I do. There was one day that my Aunt Heather told me and my sister Lindsay that we needed to be weird for our generation. Their generation was weird. Just look at that. Just look at that. And so it was up to us to pass on the weirdness, to carry on the tradition, and to be an example to our generation. And so I have striven to apply that lesson throughout my years. And if you've seen any of my lip sync videos or any of my dancing history, you'll see evidence of that lesson. This seems all really random to you guys, and probably to them if they're watching this video. But honestly, this video was a long time coming. If I could go back in time to that day and Todd got married, first thing I would do is I would punch myself in the face for listening to Kenzie. And second, I would change what I wrote in that book. I would just say, thank you for your weirdness. And I would basically extend that thanks to the rest of my aunts and uncles, all of whom played a significant role in my childhood growing up. Yeah, I just want to say, love you guys. Peace out.